This content is for informational purposes only. You should not construe any such information or other material as legal, tax, investment, financial, or other advice. Nothing contained on here constitutes a solicitation, recommendation, endorsement, or offer by Draper Goren Holm or any third-party service provider to buy or sell any securities or other financial instruments whatsoever.
Blockchain Booze theme song remix. Adverse, hit me with a beat. Well, I've been a blockchain boozer for 81 long weeks. I spent all my money on shit coins and NFTs. We've bet our life savings on these chains made of blocks. But it's Tuesday night, so I'll have my Sailor Gary on the rocks. Another chain launches, another PSP airdrops. Transactions per second, decentralized tequila shots. Gary V was a rad guest, but I am the best host, and there's no crypto without community. This is the one I love the most. So welcome to the newbies, and welcome to old friends. Another week in crypto cans, feel like it never ends, but we're gathered on this live stream. Another Blockchain Booze show with NFT.FAMILY. So let's fucking go.
That was amazing.
Wow.
Boom.
That was something.
Wow.
Holy we are live. So what's up, guys?
Oh my God.
Welcome to Blockchain Booze. That was a remix because, well, one, thank you. Abverse, the dude who sent me that beatbox, sent that to me like a month ago, and I've been sitting on it, maybe even 2 months ago. I've been sitting on it, waiting to do something with it. The theme song was too long to begin with, and I literally recorded that while in my car parked the other day. The other people in the parking lot probably thought I was an insane person, and I recorded it, and I was like, oh shit, this is it. This is the new theme song. It's half the length because I just scream it faster. So there we go.
That was amazing.
Holy shit. Thank you. Welcome everyone, Blockchain and Booze number 81. If you're watching this somewhere on the internet, like on our YouTube channel, on Lunar Crush, streaming on Twitter, or on Blockchain Radio, you can go to meet.blockchainbooze.io and you can join us in the backstage area, ask questions live in the QA, and then after we're done hanging out and talking, you can come and actually turn on your camera, hang out with us and the rest of the community at these various tables and things. So join us back there. I'm seeing a ton of friends back there, some of the newbies from the Boring Stone community, and some of the regulars like David Rankin. Dr. Enkin was his cover on Boring Stone, and Sailor Gary's back there, and Jim Robinson, and all the cool kids clubs. Come join us backstage at meet.blockchainbooze.io. What's up, guys? It's been a crazy week.
Yeah. Who's gonna take that one, right?
Yeah. Well, hey, so by the way, is my ape moving, or is it skipping out now that there's just too much shit going on my computer?
It's skipping out. Yeah, you're
all right, maybe I'll just see you guys in real life. Hold on, let me turn this crap off. But anyone who has been hanging out at Blockchain or at the Boring Stone Discord channel has done some hang sessions with Punk Ape Strong, and it's been super fun. So thanks for joining us back there. I'm gonna fix my camera real quick. Well, let me switch. Can you guys hear me still at least?
Oh yeah.
Okay, sweet. That's cool. How do I just stop my?
Figure out your technical issues, man.
In the meantime, let's have a drink, gentlemen. What a week it's been.
It's been a week, right? I think we all learned that one
tonight.
I hope everybody else is drinking too, right? We gotta
I got a little
Raise the
whistle
toast.
pig right here.
Yeah, I made my classic Yoni Negroni.
Yoni
Yoni
Negroni.
Negroni.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. It took me a long time to figure out that it's Yoni, and you know, it's with the K in there just kind of throws me off, man. It's
well, you know, the internet. There's a lot of people taking screen names, so this is the one that I stuck out with. I don't know how many years, 15. Ever since like AOL kind of died out, it was this.
All right, now you're gonna make me feel bad for being the only one with. But my name does look better than me, just to be fair. So we're just gonna stick with it.
I thought that's what you actually look like. I had no idea.
I mean, if that's what I look like, I mean, I'm set. I'm good to go.
All right.
Do you ever wear a bow tie and like a little vest like that?
I mean, most days, yeah. Doesn't everybody? Yeah.
The last guy.
I haven't pulled out my bow tie since my wedding, so.
I think that might be your wedding is probably the only time in my life I've worn a bow tie. So hey, that's pretty awesome.
Dude, I bought you a suit. You better wear it.
Oh, I see.
How do we know like who's in this? Oh, okay. I see.
So this is the comments from look. Coop is back there. We got
everyone. Oh yeah.
Koken. Koken.
See Small Rat and Koken.
These are the people commenting on YouTube. Yeah. Say that again.
So shout out to the mods that we've brought on in Discord. We'll be introducing the community manager next week. So, you know, we've been doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff for our project, which has been really exciting to really be a part of. This has been an exciting week. I didn't realize it was Tuesday. I didn't realize it was a whole week already, but you know, it's been nothing but computers and drinking and a lot of fun.
Now let's do a let's raise a toast for Koken and Small Rat. They've been holding it down for us.
Cheers, cheers.
Sorry, I just I had my whole setup ready for Punk Ape Strong, and so I had a drink before I set it over there. I had a Sailor Gary and Dr. Pepper ready for Punk Ape Strong. So that's his drink.
That's how busy Alon is. Like he's fucking running around with his head cut off, trying to figure out how the fuck to do everything, and like he doesn't even have a drink ready for blockchain and booze.
I know it's messed up.
Like you know, we can take over while you go mix a drink or something, or grab a beer from the fridge if you want to join the party. Definitely, like you know, Koken, Small Rat. These guys have been helping us set up this thing within a couple of days, which is insane. And the traction that's coming out of this is
let's start with telling everyone what we're even talking about.
Yeah, so I was about to do like a setup, right? So last week on Blockchain Booze, we had it's only 1 week. We had Mike Shinoda from Lincoln Park, and one of the things we talked about all throughout that was that we launched that day the Boring Stone Drop from this crew of us we put together called NFT.FAMILY. I see Coop sharing his one of his Jason the Ape covers in the chat right now, and so we did this Boring Stone Drop, and pretty much in about 36 hours or so, the whole thing sold out. And we realized we had to accelerate our timeline of cool, fun things we wanted to do. And I know that the Discord channel is full of full of amazing people asking good questions, and we've been knocking things down. But like Jason just said, Small Rat, Koken have been moderating the Discord. We're hiring a team, building up on all this stuff. But yeah, so the rest of the Blockchain Boost community that may have missed some of it, check out the Boring Stone Discord and the Blockchain Boost Discord. It's the same Discord channel altogether, and come hang with us. There will be I've been slow on it because of so much stuff going on, but there will be a way for the top blockchain booze community members from the last 80 weeks to get some of these boring stones. And then from this point on, we're going to have giveaways and amazing ways for other people to get some as well. We saved a bunch specifically to reward the community. So, but also, I wanted to throw out there, because I'm sorry, this is a weird episode, because it's not like just grabbing a random guest and asking them questions, but we're kind of the center of attention for a minute. But something I want to throw out is that, the Hustle House, Jason, who you see on here, is who you see on Twitter all the time. And if you're in the NFT community, you know him. He's been around the crypto space for years now. I think we met in 2016 or beginning of 17 at one of our events. Yoni is an epic designer and UX UI techie who's worked with me and my brother on a bunch of startups. There's Yoni looking exactly like his Nessie. Switch between the two. Look at that. It's like looking in a mirror.
Different. Yeah.
It's and Reaper is the man. Reaper is the guy who drew all of these full body apes. He is the artist who gave our apes bodies. And his art is what's on the cover most of the Boring Stones. So yeah, what did I miss? I feel like
that was it, man. That was a great
I don't know if you contributed to this whole thing.
Yeah, and then along with those excellent connections and being able to be such a talented person in helping us get with the dev team and all that. This was definitely a team experience where we were able to rely on each other for a lot of different things and make something really fun and amazing happen really quickly. And
for example, I'm really good at misspelling things and typos.
This whole story is like, a long time. We can go into some of the backstory. I mean, so I, you reached out, you found, some of my other, kind of full body derivatives I was doing on for other apes, and they kind of hit on Twitter, and I've just been doing it on kind of word of mouth, right? Like somebody find one and they'd reach out, hit me in a DM, and I'd be like, all right, so let's come up with a story, right? What's your character? Kind of what are we doing, right? I always try to find a way to bring something, a little more personalization, bring it to life, whatever, right? And you had this whole idea for Punk Ape Strong, right? And this is a cool story. This is this whole thing of this, kind of like retired rock star. He's kind of like still kicking it in old clubs and like making his money, right? Making a couple of, rerun cover albums or some shit, right? And then, after I drew it, Alon hit me up and he's like, hey, what if we did this? And I don't know if you guys, have picked this up over 81 weeks of like listening to Alon talk, but the guy's got nothing but ideas. And it kind of spurred like all of this shit. So we chatted a few times just about like what we can do. And then you're dropping like airdrops of like album or like concert flyers and shit to people on Tezos. And then it just became this, and I'm over here talking to my wife. I'm like, can you believe this guy? Like, what's going on with this? This is like my, some shit I drew, and he's taken this like whole character as like this kind of, persona that's being built on it. And I'm over here like half humbled, half laughing, half like, in awe of like this crazy thing that's kind of coming up, and people are latching onto it on Twitter or whatever. And then, the Boring Stone magazine kind of came of one of those, kind of, let's just kind of shooting the shit kind of ideas, right? Of like what we can do. And you sent me those covers that you just posted up there. And I'm like, oh yeah, hold on. Now we can take this into a whole other level, right? So, we all grew up on magazines, right? I mean, magazines have kind of died off these days in different forms. But the idea of it was really cool, right? So how can we make this fun, capture some of the like craziness of the NFT space? Let's pull in some different collaborators, right, on like different apes and other communities. We had the whole thing with the Fame Lady Squad, and it just kind of, the genesis of this thing exploded in a very, very short amount of time. Like we went from zero to like a whole idea in like, I don't know, 45 minutes maybe. I mean, it was kind of crazy.
Well,
But this
like
is
I
awesome.
took
Like, it
this.
came out of nowhere, and just like it was like one of those lightning strikes kind of deals. And then pulling the team together, off of that was just like, lightning in a bottle.
Well, it was like your full body. I'm trying to load a bunch of pictures into my StreamYard thing so I can put them on the screen. But like you made the full body thing, and I was like, oh, what if I like made a flyer for a world tour for Punk Ape Strong? And then the ape community gave me a bunch of headlines of like fake cities, like like Ape Town, South Africa, and like New Ape, and like weird, or New Yacht actually was the
Yeah,
one.
that's what it was.
And then like all these different cities, and we're like, oh, this is so funny. And then we're like, then I started like making flyers for the individual shows. So I was like, here's the flyer for the show in Jason the Ape's parents' backyard, and like weird shit like that, because I was like trying to think of shows, like punk rock shows that I went to when I was a kid. And it was like, oh yeah, there's a show in this person's backyard next weekend, or like at this place, in this bookstore, in this basement. And so I started making flyers and dropping them to people on Tezos just for fun. And then randomly I found like a template on like Envato or something for a magazine cover. And I was like, and we came up with Boring Stone or something. And then that, because I put like the Bored Becky headline, the Boring Show headline, the Sailor Gary headline, I was like, we could do this into something bigger. And we also were brainstorming ideas, right? And I was sending people, like I did an auction, and I sent one guy like this backstage pass, and I was like, this is going to get you access to everything I ever do because you won the auction. It was like a charity thing I did on Tezos. And like we started realizing that us as a crew together could do something much bigger. And we just thought, let's experiment and make the first one this Boring Stone drop. And we went from, this thing that I keep sharing to like all the different ones. Here's one with like a bunch of them, right? And this is a preliminary one. You could tell it's preliminary because there's a space between Boring and Stone. And at a certain point, Yoni was like, hey, dude, Boring Stone doesn't have a space between it. And like stuff like that, we started melding it together. So that's how this is like my fake photoshopped version before we really ran it through the system. But yeah, Reaper's art, like this full body thing. I'm gonna add some of the other ones into the thing while you talk about it. But your full body apes are really what got us excited and what set the stage. I think Reaper
it brings this thing to a whole new level. Like I know that so many other communities are looking at like more than the profile picture, right? And to bring these apes, such a huge following, a huge community, a huge like presence out there in just like regular world. Like you read about this shit in like Variety magazine or like fucking New York Times, like what are these fucking apes selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars? And like it's just literally a bust. And now giving them, beyond that square image is fucking really cool. I loved every single one of those full body ones.
Oh, I just found. Look, this is Lord Shinoda. This is Mike Shinoda's full body.
So like one of the things that this really does though is it allows all the sorts of different parts of the NFT community to be simultaneously engaged, right? Like a lot of us didn't know that Mike Shinoda was a Bored Ape, and now he has a variant on here with his music component, and it adds all these different layers. And so with what we did with our magazine NFT kind of drop, it really allowed all these communities to be engaged. Like we got to talk about and showcase Fame Ladies Squad and some Tezo project that you're familiar with and some other stuff. So that was really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I think that's where the future, that's like, I think where the future of this really, really goes, right? Like we talk about it on here and we talk about bridging the different communities. Here's Jason.
I need that on a shirt. I need that to replace this.
Hey, the cool thing about that one, Jason just sent the thing, and he said I got to have a zong bong for my ape, and that was it, right? That was just what I didn't even know what a zong. I mean, I'm gonna out myself. I didn't even know what a zong bong was. I'm like googling zong bong. I'm like, oh shit, that's kind of cool. All right, let me throw this thing on there, right?
It's right here next to me.
But yeah, that was good. I mean, but that's part of the process with all these. I've probably done about 20, 25, I guess, apes, and probably another 20 like gutter cats, and a couple of other kind of random ones. But with all of it, it's trying to personalize. I mean, with these profile pick projects, so we can all talk about our apathy towards them right now because there's been so many of them. But like the ones that were out initially, everybody kind of latched onto it, right? And you kind of create either a character or you find one that's like, oh, you know what, this kind of represents me for whatever reason, right? Mm-hmm. Or you make a character, or you tie it to yourself in some way or another in this kind of weird life we're living in NFT space. And so part of the fun, at least for me, was like, asking those questions, having people say, all right, here's what I'm thinking about for this, character, and let's build this around, and so, everyone kind of takes its own life and form, and, they're getting a little crazier as we move forward. Some of the ones I've been doing lately, a little nuts.
So this is the thing. I gotta like lean back. Look at Jason's in the middle of the spokes, but like
Clayton Morrow.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say this was me trying to create a character out of my. I've got another ape, got the red fur biker ape, and so of course he's got ape hangers on his bike, of course, right? He can't just have a regular bike. He's got to have a chopper with some ape hangers, and I this was all trying to come up with like a Bored Ape motorcycle club. I was just kind of making up some fun shit, right? But that's a cool part about it. It's like these things they're kind of open. Yeah, they've got some traits and some color, some clothes, or maybe they've got VR eyes like my ape does. But you can make whatever the hell you want off of it. And that's the fun part about it.
Well, all of these things came out of various blockchain, not specifically your Bored Ape motorcycle club, but like the idea for me at least around. Hold on, I'm trying to find some more of these. The idea for me was taking the apes and giving them characters, right? The whole point of apes is supposed to be that you have the IP, right? And like we actually, found when Reaper and I were looking at old Rolling Stone magazine covers that were like iconic and whatever, there was like a few poses of famous like country swingers or rockers exactly like this in like a field of flowers or like in some, in the desert or whatever. And so we made a punk ape strong pose just like this. And rare version that's my the mutant
version is like one of my favorites, dude. I love that.
That's beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah, I love the detail. Like you notice the pop strings on it, on the guitar and stuff like that.
That was one when I set out to when you're like, hey, we need one for the mutant version of Punk Ape Strong. I'm like, oh shit, how am I gonna do that? I had no idea what I was gonna do for that. And it kind of came together. That was a cool one though. I really like it.
Yeah, you had a lot of themes kind of continued throughout the body, like the mushrooms and the fucking pop veins and the just everything is just melting. It's great.
Yeah.
I think I might have one of those. I might have lucked out. Got one of those. I totally dig the mutant.
You do need a new Avi there, Yanni. The dinosaur is kind of cool, but got to get yourself an ape.
All right, I'll just drop.
Mortgage the house for one at this point. Come on.
I told you, I'll give you a good deal on my McDonald's burger serving mutant that I got. I think it's the coolest mutant I got. But yeah, sorry, I was cutting out there for a second. But the idea behind the IP driving stuff, I remember, Jason was on the Hustle House right here, right? And Bored Becky was on. They were talking about actually creating a character for their ape, and that's part of one of the reasons why we called it NFT.FAMILY too. Like there's a backstory here. The actual NFTs are like a part of the family. They all have their stuff, and that's going to be part of a long-term vision. I know that a lot of people are asking about this stuff. Hey, you know, there is a question back here that we were just talking about, because some of us think it's really awesome and some of us really don't give a shit about it. But Coop is asking about POAPs. I always call them popes, but then I saw on the website it said pronounced POAPs. But or airdrops in the future of Boring Stone. What do you think? We talked about doing the proof of attendance tokens and stuff for event, like for maybe for Blockchain Booze episodes or for events we do and stuff. What are your guys' thoughts? I thought it was kind of fun, but it's kind of a bummer that they're on like I think they're on XDAI or whatever, so nobody really knows or collects them.
I think it'll be worth it to do it for a lot of future events and just as little collectibles for, you know, proof of attendance. I personally love collecting the ones I've gotten from the Bored Ape Yacht Club meetups and little stuff like that. Like, I don't ever intend on selling those anyways. Those are things I collect just because I passionately want to say I was there. So I look forward to, for Spaces events we do, certain future events, like having those available.
That'd be fun. I think though it's fun. I like it for some like reasons, like ticket stubs and stuff like that. But it's a bummer that, again, it's purely because of Ethereum gas and stuff like that. There isn't just a great way to have them. Like, I want to display them somewhere where everyone can see them, like a little bragging right thing. Like, I don't know, it reminds me of like pins. When I was like a kid at punk rocker, you'd go to a show, you'd buy a pin from a band, and then you'd have it on your like army jacket or whatever, right?
That might be something to look into, is figuring out how we can display POAPs like that, because that would be pretty badass.
Maybe we can do it in the Discord with like one of those update things where you can have the custom emojis and things like that. We can have like different ones for different certain events or something, like you were there or you participated in something.
Yeah. Like I remember when I went to I saw Kobe shoot 81 points. You know, maybe that's a reference to this episode. But that dude showed 81.
You were at the game when he scored 81 points?
Hell yeah, I was. And like that, like I kept that ticket stub. Hopefully it didn't get burned in any of the fires in Malibu. But like, shit, man. Like I dig the POAP thing. Like I don't have one myself, but you know, I like having that kind of, I don't know, scrapbook style. You know, I have a bunch of crap that like I just collected over the years that it's probably in a drawer. It's more like a drawer book. But like, I think it's cool. I know I can't resell it for anything. Ethereum is way too fucking expensive. Like any other place to put it, I'm okay with. Like I want to display it. That's the thing. Like, yeah. How do I display this show?
I bet there's a way. If there isn't a way that they've already built into it, we could probably make a way. It's not that tough. It's on the XDAI chain. I've done stuff on there before, so we could think about it. Coop asked that question, and he said, take a snapshot of today's attendees. So in the Remo system, if you go to meet.blockchainbooze.io, you join us back there. I will know who's joined us. Like, I'll get the email addresses and I can take it out of the system. And I will, that's how I'm going to know who the top participants in Blockchain and Booze have been, because it actually, like, the Remo system shows how many minutes each person has participated. So I'm going to be able to take the top 100 people by minutes from the last 80 episodes and give them a boring stone. And I think that's how we're going to do it. Maybe I'll send an email to the top 200, and whoever replies with their ETH addresses or something, we'll figure it out. Something like that. The team will make a decision. But then moving forward, we can come up with things like that. Maybe every episode we'll do a giveaway or something like that. I think it would be really cool.
Oh yeah, participation is important, man. That's what like brings out the community. I think like when you come, show up, like whatever it is. Like I feel like that presence is so important. It just reassures that this thing, you know, is something of value and has some sort of longevity.
The fun part of this whole project, though, really is going to be creating something that most people don't expect. One of the things that I love about our project uniquely is that it's not like a PFP project. We didn't promise anything like a PFP project. We haven't promised any specific utility or anything. because we've told you guys that we had a vision, and a lot of people have allowed us to kind of have freedom with that in the last week, and that's something that we kind of have a visual representation being developed to share with you all in time, to give everyone an idea of like what we will be doing ideally, because this is going to be bigger than just a PFP project. There's a lot of underlying opportunity to help other people come up in this space, and I'm really looking forward to having a lot of fun with you guys as a team.
Yeah, man, I'm stoked about this.
It's going to be really cool, and I think that we've got a few questions already bubbling up, and if anyone has more, feel free to throw them out there. Something that I think is really cool to think about, sort of like in the long term of this, is again like trying to make sure it's not the same as everything else and try to be different. And we started by kind of bridging the community together, grabbed different apes who wanted to be on it, purposely included some other communities in the mix. It wasn't only Bored Apes. We did a lot of obviously stuff with Fame Lady Squad. We had Bored Becky on here and Danielle on here to talk about Fame Lady Squad when they did the takeover. By the way, we should have Danielle on very soon.
I was gonna say, do you want to talk a little bit about how kind of that came about, or you want to wait till they get on?
No, we could. I was going to actually say that Danielle wanted to come on soon to talk about her other project, the kind of Halloween themed.
Yeah. That's a cool one.
I got some of those, and she wants to come and talk about it, so we'll have her to talk on that soon. Cool. But yeah, Fame Lady Squad did their takeover thing, which I think most of you saw that episode and saw that we had them on and wanted to support them, because it was not a rug pull, but those people did a pretty disingenuous, shitty thing. And
I'll be honest, I remember where I was when I saw I saw Twitter blowing up about Fame Ladies and the Russian dudes who were behind the whole thing. Like, I don't know, I think Alon, you too. I don't know if I'm sure everybody, a lot of other people were too. I had a bunch, and I still do, a bunch of Fame Ladies, right? I remember, back, was it early July, I guess. It was when that dropped, I remember sitting there with my daughter, like, oh, let's go pick one out, on secondary, right? Let's find one that, that you like, that kind of fits you, your profile picture, or whatever that you can have. I'll throw it into a wallet whenever you get old enough, you can take it over or whatever. You can get your own wallet and we can transfer it over. And I think you had a similar story, right? There's a lot of people like that. So when I found out it was 3 Russian dudes running that project, I was losing my mind, either, from laughing or what the hell just happened?
Yeah,
I wasn't laughing because I put a lot of money into that. I minted a whole ether, and at that time, that was the most I'd ever minted. I minted 18 of them or something.
Yeah.
But the problem was there was a lot of people telling me in the Discord, hey, I have red flags. These are people were asking to do spaces and these sort of events. And this is where I think it's important to reference that, is that not all of our team is visually doxxed, but Alon, myself, Yanni, depending on the moment when he flashes back. But we visually have been part of the community since 2016. So the fact that that is something imperative to this experience, is let people know what you're about, what you're creating, and will you be there tomorrow? That's mainly the most important part in this space. And for us, there's no question we have to be here tomorrow, because this is our dedicated journey.
1000%. I think that was a funny thing a lot of people were saying, because we've been planning on it for, at least reiterating these ideas for weeks before we did the drop, and we talked about it on the show and things like that. And it was this funny kind of journey and situation. But 2 days before the drop, we were like, oh, we never made a Twitter account for Boring Stone or for NFT.FAMILY, and we're like, we should probably do that. And then people in the Discord were like, it's confusing. The founders,
it's called stealth mode.
Well, the thing is, though, so many of these NFT drops, right? They create a Discord channel, they create a Twitter account, then they go on Fiverr or wherever the fuck, and they buy followers so that it looks full. And if you look at a bunch of Twitter accounts of people in the space, and I don't want to name names, I don't even know any off the top of my head, but it's really easy, right? You'll see an account that has 50,000 followers, and then you look and each one of their tweets have 1 like or 0 likes, and that's not a 50,000 follower account. If you have
Right.
50,000 real followers, you actually have engagement, people reply and whatever.
Mhm.
And so people were commenting that like, how come all of the founders have a bunch of followers and stuff, but the drop, like the Boring Stone one, doesn't? And people were like laughing at how like it was the opposite of all of these fake drops, because there's actually like a real team behind it and real people. It was a pretty funny thing to watch, like from the perspective of people who participate in all these things and are used to getting I don't know about getting screwed, but at least getting sort of lied to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're, I'd say three quarters of a fully doxed team. I'm still hiding behind my better looking ape, but I've been around here for a while and been doing a lot of projects for other people, and I don't have as many followers as Jason or Alone, but I'm okay. I do all right. I got a decent following, pretty happy with it. But one that there is zero chance I'm going to let any of that kind of fall, right? And let my even if Reaper isn't my real name, but I'm not souring that name. That's for damn sure, right? So we are a little bit of a different team, and I think that's a good thing. Like, we're not releasing a PFP project and then running off to the next PFP project, right? This is no pump and dump, and anybody who's out there worried about the floor price and like what's in it for me next, we may not move as fast as some of the other groups, but hey, we're a little older. We move a little slower, but we're going to do things the right way.
It's about doing things the right way. So we saw, for example, this last week, and I will say that, like,
mind you, we're only a week old.
What was that?
I said, mind you, we're only a week old, so like anyone who's we're not moving fast enough.
So there's one, only a week old, but two, remember, like, okay, my background and why Blockchain Booze exists is because I do Draper Gorin Home. I'm the Gorin and Draper Gorin Home. We invest in early stage blockchain startups. We incubate them, we accelerate them, however you want to say it, but we invest in them, right? And one of the reasons why this came together, this NFT family thing came together, is the same reason and way that a bunch of startups have come together over the last 2 years since COVID. And DGH has been lucky enough to invest in some of them, right? Like Adele, who is in the chat. We invested in his company after meeting him at the tables here on Blockchain Booze. There we go. I see you. You're in there right now, right? And there's a few other companies who we got to meet and spend time with here at Blockchain and Booze, and that's where we ended up investing. And so for us, this is like an extension of the Blockchain Booze community. We're creating this awesome value that now we get to like engage the community. We also get to do what Blockchain Booze does and bridge the gaps between all these different communities. And I kind of skipped over the FAME Lady Squad whole story and why we wanted to do what we're doing. But like that's the whole point of Blockchain Booze, just bringing the community together. It started at a time when we couldn't really leave our houses, but now we can, and a lot of us are, but we're still doing this because it's global and it's a great place to just meet at the end of the day once a week, have a drink together and hang out. Adele is sharing his stuff back there. Everyone who's listening, go to dln.org. He's doing something amazing, going to change the world. But the thing is, so FAME Lady Squad came on the show. One, bored Becky just because she herself, like, she amplified what Jason, what the Hustle House told me, right? Like Jason was like, dude, you gotta build IP around your ape, give him a name. What's his name? What's the story? Because Jason's the first person who asked me, like, what's your ape's name? And I was like, oh shit, I didn't give him a name, and at the beginning I just called him like Alon the Ape or something, or Alonymous, because that was my old Twitter username that I regret changing. But then we came up with a whole story because Bored Becky's name is Ashley. And she's like, yeah, I gave my ape a name. I gave her a Twitter account. I gave her a domain name. And one day, if I ever do sell my ape, I'm selling it all together. And that's what sparked this idea for Punk Ape Strong. But they took over that community. And when we kind of realized we had something here, we wanted to bridge together the blockchain booze community, the Bored Ape community, the Fame Lady Squad community, we thought we should kind of do a hat tip to them, include a lot of ladies on this on the drop, and give them like, you know, a percentage of actually the sales of this thing. So we're gonna actually transfer them a good amount of the ETH that was made on the sale to help support that community, for them to kind of taking over, because they did like the hardest part, right? The Russian dudes did the drop. They took all the money and then went, sure, here, have the community. And now they have to execute, and they're doing it just out of sheer goodwill because it's fun for them, and it's a cool thing, and it's the right thing to do.
That was something when I had both Danielle and Ashley on my show, and I asked them, I said, I know Danielle's been in the space for a while, Ashley is relatively new. I said, why did you take this on? You know, and for them, it was the reality that for so many people, it was their first NFT experience, specifically so many females. It was like, either like you said, you gave it to your daughter, you gave it to your wife or your sister, and that was their first experience. And then they felt like a little bit of a, I want to say disrespect, a little bit of a violation of their reality. Like it was all sorts of bad vibes all at once. And as a lot of guys, many of us, we don't feel that rug pull the same way. But for them, they felt very connected to that experience, and it sat wrong with a lot of them. And so when Ashley made that heartfelt speech that she did in her car, posted it on Instagram or on Twitter, I asked her, I said, "Do you ever think that little video you'd made changed the course of your life?" She said, "No, I had no idea. I was just being vulnerable and emotional, you know, and being honest." And that's what really benefits all of us in this experience, is like being honest, being emotional, being empathetic, and connecting. With all that said, we have a fun time with the Fame Lady Squad. They're dope people.
Yeah, we get along with them great. I think it's because they're all good people in it for the right reasons, and so I think I said it that one week, and we've had her back since, and now we'll have Danielle on. I consider both Bored Becky and NFT Ignition. We keep saying Danielle, people really don't know who she is. NFT Ignition on Twitter. Now you guys will know who she is. I consider them like our wingmen, our wing ladies, right? Because I constantly do blockchain and booze, and I don't have as much fun, to be honest, when there's like some random single person where I have to prepare and interview them and whatever, as I have fun with like grabbing a friend or two and just doing a session like this, which is why even lately, like I've kind of switched the format. Like even when Mike Shinoda was on, and I got to kind of nerd out on him, and even when Gary Vee was on, I always make sure I get one of my wingmen, one of my friends, usually like John or Joe from Lunar Crush, or one of these guys, or lately, you know, Bored Becky or Ashley, I mean, same person, Bored Becky or Danielle. To come on, because I need a wingman. I need to have some fun, and the whole point of this thing is to be laid back, have fun. I know we have some more questions in the chat too, but is there any questions that come to mind you've been hearing in the Discord that we said we would address today that I didn't bring up quite yet?
I honestly just want to say, in the short term, for the people in the Discord who have wondered, you know, are we rugging, or are we just minting something for the hell of it? No, man. No, Alon and I have been here every day since 2016, him probably longer. We have no intention of going anywhere, and we have every intention of creating something super fun for everyone, with the underlying factor that it has to be fun. Otherwise, we won't be doing it.
So I will say that I got to make blockchain my full-time job sometime around 2016, early 17. And I haven't looked back since. It's been a tough, crazy roller coaster. You know, those of you who were there that early and were in the bear markets, and I didn't, and I built up DGH, and me and Joseph built up what it is today. And what's crazy is these experiments, these fun things, doing an NFT drop, doing blockchain and booze, these kind of things have become our full-time jobs. And like,
what we do is invest in cool companies. We meet while experimenting, and we put on epic conferences that are basically there just so we can hang with our friends. Like we were really bummed we'd have to do this one this year virtually again, but it's going to be amazing. And the space is growing now, and it's really cool. Big hands Dan in the chat said fun is boring. Oh, and Bluesy Crypto is in the chat now. So okay, think about this.
Oh yes, dude,
Okay.
Bluesy Crypto.
Go Reaper. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say let's shout him out, dude. He's been killing it.
He's been recording epic songs, playing the epic blues guitar over some of our albums, and inspired by them, and is inspiring us. I got to close my door this afternoon and yell to my kids, "Hey, I'm recording something real quick," and play a song on my guitar and post it on Twitter and pretend like that was work, right? Like this is awesome, right? We've done something really cool, and so many of us have got to turn this into our jobs. And look at Mr. Suit is in the chat. He needs a full body, by the way. He needs to be a part of one of the future drops. Actually, he asked a really good question. He said, what was the most difficult part about launching? Anybody want to hit that?
Difficult? Everything is difficult.
No, the most difficult part of launching is relaying the message to the community that there's a reason to buy it.
Yeah, I will be honest, and I'm gonna get all sentimental with the Hustle House here. Like what he did to promote and get on spaces, like I don't know, 6 hours a day to like talk about our projects and like pull everybody together. That, at least for me, that would have been the most difficult part. Completely. Like there's no way I could have pulled that off. And you carried the load for the like mass communication and promotion on this thing. That to me, that was the biggest piece, because we did come out of nowhere, right? We didn't like have weeks of lead up, like what was it? The Mecca, whatever these things are that are out there now, right? They had like 10,000 people, a day jumping into their Discord. Like, we kind of just, we came on this thing a little stealth, and, needed some promotion at the last. But to me, that was the biggest piece. And the most difficult was getting everybody to see it. And you helped spearhead that. So that's my way of saying thank you.
Thank you, man. Honestly, guys, I've loved every minute of this experience with every one of you guys. And I think every single part of our team has unique individual strengths. That is what's going to make us succeed. As I get to know all of you guys better, I'm realizing that each one of you has a superpower that I'm not capable of. And I really think that's why we're going to succeed, is we all have different abilities and realities. And this is going to be a really fun time. So for the people who have paper handed your project, no worries. You're welcoming other community members in. We actually have a decent amount of holders right now. So this is going to be a really fun time.
I was really excited too, because it was something, we sent it to our whole email list for the Blockchain Booze community and the LA Blockchain Summit community. And I got a ton of people saying, hey, I've been goofing around on the side, or I play with crypto and whatever, but this is my first NFT. And that was a really, really cool thing to see. I think it was pretty cool to see, like that whole, just the whole idea of people seeing this and going, wow, that's rad. That's one I want to get. Like it was cool for that to happen. And I think that's part of the team making people feel comfortable. Jason's been jumping in those spaces for years, forever. Both spaces hasn't been around for years, but
it feels like it has been, though. Like as soon as this is over at 7:00, I'm hosting another spaces to chat with another project, because to be honest with you, not only do I love connecting with the Boring Stone community, but I love connecting with every NFT community out there, because I mint or spend I put it this way, I spend a ridiculous amount of Ether every day on NFTs myself, because I'm a degen and I can't stop buying.
Dude. Damn right.
And I see someone out here asking, like, how do they promote their NFT if you don't have a following? This is one of those really beautiful reasons why our project exists. And just stay tuned. We're going to offer opportunities to help people who don't have a platform to kind of find that reach and find that voice. So just, you know, explore this journey with us, and it'll be worth your time in the long run.
Yeah, we have a question actually from Ant, and he asked, he or she asked, do you have fellow apes asking to be featured in the mag next, or
Yes.
in the next mag? And that's the funny thing, is we have a ton of apes who want to be on it. You know, sort of celebrity people who didn't respond to us fast enough the first time, who got back to us after because, you know, they saw it and then got jealous that, you know, Mike Shinoda got all the love, and all these other communities.
Well, even so, we had an ape who was on our official first Genesis drop, who has a really important announcement in his own career, developing his IP down the road, and he has asked to have a second feature and potentially a write-up. You know, so like there's a lot of interest in the development of their own IP through our lens, and I think the idea of creating a lens which really helps people find value in their IP is insanely valuable. With that said, more than anything, guys, I promise you, we're not doing shit unless it's going to be fun. I can't stress that enough.
It's got to be fun, and it has to like be different and add value, right? Like we said, there's so many awesome people doing PFP drops or whatever, but we're not going to just do like we're not going to do like, you know, board centipedes or something like that. By the way, that would be pretty cool.
That would be fucking rad.
Mine has the most legs. So.
Hey, Alon, you just gave somebody in this stream an idea, and we're going to see board centipedes in about 3 days.
Hey, if somebody in the blockchain booze community launches board centipedes, it better be an NFT.FAMILY drop. You better give us some love.
That's right. That's right. Hit us
I'll
up. Let's drop it
and
together.
There's really no reality to where this project could go with the idea of what we're trying to encompass. This is going to be an exciting time.
Yeah, so we are. I have some other questions. I want to throw out sort of a few last minute ones before we jump to tables and hang out and stuff. But yeah, Coop, by the way, Coop is definitely has some skills. I don't know if you guys know this, but Coop's in the NFT space. He is an amazing artist, musician, and does hip hop stuff, but all sorts of music. And we're gonna have to, just like Bluesy Crypto, we're gonna have to do some collabs with him as well. In some of these.
This is about, man. This is what it's about.
So before there was something I was gonna say before I jumped in, then my ADD caught me.
You're about to ask some questions.
Yeah. Let's do a question. So actually, would love your guys' thoughts on this. Somebody asked, "What are your thoughts?" Oh, I was just gonna hit up the idea of our vision board that we talked about. Is sort of our version of a roadmap that you guys are putting together, that we're putting together. That's coming out soon. So just keep on the lookout. We're going to try to do it in a unique way too, and be different about it. But just FYI, that's coming, and the team's working on it. So somebody asked, what are your thoughts? Or Mark Wells asked, what are your thoughts on the utility and IRL NFT space in real life stuff?
All right, who's going to take that one?
I can tell you my feelings. I feel like I talk too much, but like, one thing we talked about, Fame Lady Squad community, and LA Blockchain Summit's happening virtually, and Punk Ape Strong is going to be one of the speakers at the event. So it might be, as far as I know, it's the first time an NFT is speaking at an event. So I think that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty surreal, to be honest with you guys. I look forward to the day when I can put on a headset, probably just like a normal pair of glasses, and I can engage and watch Punk Ape Strong leading a conference somewhere in the world, and I'm wherever else in the world. This is exciting.
That's right. Hey, Jason, talk about the NFT NYC, some of the things we're doing there. I mean, it's a IRL type thing we got coming up soon.
Yeah.
So I've been speaking with Board Becky, and I'm going to promise you guys that on November 2nd, there will be some kind of fun adventure between the Fame Lady Squad and Boring Stone at a local venue very close to the NYC NFT conference. It'll be worth attending if you own a Fame Lady Squad or an ape, or you own a Boring Stone cover, you're absolutely welcome to come through. There will be more details to come on our Instagram, Twitter, all that. So stay tuned. But very fun stuff on the horizon, and it'll be worth it. I really think it'll be a good time. You know, I've been known as the party ape. Now I'm on Boring Stone NFT, so come through and party with the party ape.
Party. You know
Good
what?
boy. Good
This
I mean,
boy.
you know, we've
dude
got
does
the,
look like
the
a
natural,
party.
like the nice kind of timing, right? Coming up soon with NFT NYC, you got LA Blockchain Summit. We're kind of hitting both coasts, right? And not a lot of people, you know, that are in our community are going to be able to attend, but there's an opportunity there for everybody to take part in some way or another. And like LA Blockchain's virtual, right? So more people will be able to kind of jump in and join that.
Yeah.
But just so that, you know, and I know everybody wants like info like yesterday in our space, like nothing's ever fast enough in NFTs, right? But you know, just wanted to throw, I mean, you know, this group here, you know, the four of us, plus, you know, the kind of extended team that we have, we're in daily conversations around how we can continue to bring, you know, value to you guys that's really beyond the typical shit that you see with like, you know, your profile picture, like NFTs, right? You know, we really see this, you know, Boring Stone, you know, these Genesis tokens as, you know, they were cool as shit, right? They were fun to draw for me. I was cracking up every day at the headlines we were coming up with, and we absolutely see that as a long-term vision for this project of a, you know, a periodical type thing, right? Where we're capturing and being kind of historians of the NFT space. That's definitely a huge piece of this. But it opens the door for us to do a lot of other things. And we really hope you guys like ride with us on this journey, because we're going to be coming up with some cool shit that's well beyond just the, you know,
Did
kind of
somebody
the
say ride?
magazine concept, right? I mean, it's gonna be some cool shit. I mean, I know that you now we're gonna ride board. There you go. We're gonna ride board into some cool shit, right?
Ride with us.
Like we have the Discord channel. There's a community ideas section. A lot of people have posted a lot about like apparel or physical art, or, you know, even like, you know, taking an ad in actually the Rolling Stones, which is
Well, check this out. That would actually be pretty funny. But for example, my ape has BAHC. This is from a random band, but it's really common amongst punk bands to do this exact thing. Usually it'll be like a location, like it'll be like TOHC for like Thousand Oaks hardcore. But you notice Punk Ape Strong has Bored Ape Hardcore.
Bored Ape Hardcore, man.
Bored Ape Hardcore. I feel like there needs to be a whole line of Bored Ape Hardcore clothing, pins, hats, you know, shit like that. But there's so much more that can be done, right? And we want things to live in the metaverse also. So I actually talked this week to the Super World team, and talked about, you know, can the NFT family do something where in Super World, when you're like in real life in certain places, like see a Punk Ape Strong concert, or like if you go to the top of the mountain, like you noticed on the back of Boring Stones, or on the background of a few of the Boring Stones, there's like real pictures. Those are pictures that I took on my Super World land, right? So wouldn't it be cool to be able to meet Bored Shinoda in augmented reality there? So like shit like that would be so weird and so much fun, where you could maybe do it from your computer, kind of like you're just walking around on Google Maps or something, but also in real life, you're actually in a space, you know, see these characters, play with them, hang out with them.
This is one of those projects where, guys, you can't count anything out from what we could do in the future, because the amount of possibilities we all individually have considered is insane. But the fact that you guys have helped us sell out so quickly has allowed us opportunities to make these realities. So the fun part is a lot of these crazy ideas are actually going to come to fruition. So it's a matter of just staying tuned, hanging out, and enjoying the ride with us.
Absolutely. Well said.
And we're going to be sharing a lot of that soon. Guys, is there any sort of last things I missed? I think, Reaper, you were just saying something, so I apologize for interrupting, but we should say a kind of few last words, and then let's jump into tables for whoever can hang. I know some of us will hang backstage. I can hang for at least about half an hour, and some of the rest of us will hang backstage and hang with the community if you guys want to talk.
Yeah, no, let's go. All I was doing was saying that, I was just echoing Jason's comments. I mean, there are a lot of places we could take this. We've always kind of phrased this as, bringing communities together. We're going to continue to do that, right? Fame Ladies Squad is obviously one that we've been working with very closely as we've launched. That doesn't mean it stops there. We want to be the central place where we all kind of get together. And let's see where it can go. But that there's a a natural way in which we can grow together. We want you guys to weigh in on that. We're going to have a vision board that's posted, and that's more high level vision. But let's work together to fill in the details and do it as a community, right? We're not the you asked me if I'm the smartest guy in the room. I'm going to tell you yes, but we don't necessarily want to be, right? We want to leverage the ideas and the direction of everybody else, because if we're just sitting up here telling you what we think, that's not exactly the best way to go, right? We want this to be.
Listen. We're gonna listen. That's what I'm doing. I'm listening. I'm following that Discord. Like I want to show appreciation to the community. Sorry to cut you off there, Ben.
No, you're good.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people
explore new ways to engage with our community. We have to maintain what we have now and build off of it. And by doing that is listening, showing appreciation, and really being authentic. And I don't know, being engaged with the community is really important for us as this core forward here that you see on the screen, but getting the community involved is super important for us for this thing to succeed. We want to make sure that we're, I'm just at a loss of words, but I just want to we're providing what we need for everybody to love what we're doing and to be involved in that. And I'm pouring my heart into this.
We're also making sure that we're constantly transparent and available. So on Twitter, all of our @s are what we're showing right here. So if you need to follow us, make yourself available to us. Rather we are available to you. I've been drinking a lot.
I'll just throw out, hey, we're all online. We're all on Discord. We're all on Twitter. I'm at a minimum. I go in waves with crazy busy work times and things like that. But I will always do Blockchain Booze every Tuesday night, and I'm online. And we're all really crazy, transparent people. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be working with this crew. Like, I don't like the weird fake it till you make it style shit, and that's not our style. We're all online. We're all doing this. This is our thing. So guys, thank you so much. This has been awesome. I think I can't wait to go backstage, hang with everyone. If you're watching on anything other than in that Remo system, go to meet.blockchainbooze.io right now. When I switch off the stage, you'll be at tables. Hit your camera on, hit your microphone on, and say hi to the people at your table and hang out for a bit. And you might like it. It might be fun hanging out with people for a second and looking at them in the eyes and living real life. It's fucking weird, but it's cool. So I'll see you guys there. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.